Would it be useful to share an example of third platform to kind of bring that home?
Yeah, let's look at some examples of third platform companies.
I've got some slides here. Let me bring it up and show it off here. Um, I'm gonna see if I can switch over to screen sharing here.
Do we have the technology?
Yeah, well, we'll take a shot at it, I think.
Okay. I mean, we put man on the moon. Let's see if we can do screen share over Google Plus.
Yeah, let me see if I can find my. What you should be seeing coming up is a slide that says the impact of the third platform.
Let's see. If you speak, it'll probably come up.
All right. Can you see it's a big shattered glass and it says the impact of the third platform?
Yep. Go right ahead.
All right. Well, this is an example of the third platform. Let me just bring this down. I've got my slides here. And the one that we use is one that actually a lot of people talk about, which is Uber. And, let's just talk about the taxi industry. Taxi industry has been around for 100 years. Actually, I should put this picture in here. I had an opportunity to visit the Museum of London over in March. And they've got an actual London taxi from 1908.
Wow.
Right there. And the thing is, it's a recognizable taxi. It's not that different than a taxi you get into today. I mean, obviously, the car's quite different, but it's, it's an automobile. You sit in the back. There's a meter you can look at, which is just like the meter that was running on the taxi I took last month when I went to Interop in Las Vegas. It's it's an industry that's been around for 100 years. It's gone through two, massive wars. It's gone through the Great Depression, and yet it's been like a money spinner. I mean, it's just this, kind of thing. But if you look in San Francisco, over the last 15 months, 2013 through the end of 2014, San Francisco taxi trips down 65%. So this industry,
it was an industry ripe for disruption, to be sure.
Well, it was an industry that had been enormously successful for 100 years. It was a license to print money, and then Uber comes in, and they run, and they basically take away 2/3 of the business in this industry. In the San Francisco market over the course of 15 months. That's how powerful the third platform can be. And
because they're leveraging mobile. Obviously, people call Uber with their smartphone. It's cloud-based. Everything. Uber is leveraging big data as well.
Well, I've got a slide here. Let me just advance a little bit.
Sure.
Apologize for that phone in the background. It's been an unbelievable day.
Wait, you're an important person, Brian. People are calling you.
Well, I maybe. I think this is my slide here. These are all booked up things here that I think this has got a slide build that I won't be able to show it. But basically, it is social, right? Because basically, you rate the drivers rate you. And Maureen Dowd, who's a columnist for the New York Times, was complaining. She took her column and was complaining that Uber wouldn't come pick her up, and turned out she had a terrible rating.
Really? And the driver didn't like her.
Yeah, and so that really affects this transparency, right? If you're a lousy customer, you're not going to get rides. And by the same token, if you're a terrible driver, nobody will take use you. So this social piece of it, mobile, obviously, it's like catnip using Uber, because basically you pick up your phone, you say, I want one of these things. It knows where you are from the GPS. It makes the connection. It tells you which driver is going to come and get you. You can watch the driver getting to you on a map because they get GPS in their mobile thing, and it's completely mobile driven, right? And so and there's no payment because basically your account has your credit card. So when they drive up and drop you off, you just get out of the car and walk off.
There's no comparison between a traditional taxi and Uber, really. It's true.
They're running analytics. I look at my account. I've used Uber in, I think, 7 or 8 different cities in 3 different countries. It's got every ride. Well, guess what? They're looking at that too. So they know a lot about me. And then it all runs in the cloud. So this is, and what's interesting is I showed you this slide. Yep. That shows you this. But just as interesting is this slide, which shows you what they've done in the San Francisco market. So in the course of 5 years, they have tripled what the taxi industry used to do in all of San Francisco. So all the taxi rides in San Francisco, they now do 3 times that business because, as I said, it's like catnip. All of a sudden, it's much easier to use. It's very cost effective. And all of a sudden people start going, I'm going to take a taxi ride instead of me, walking to this place or taking, a bus or not going. I'll just do this. And so
It's a classic third platform play.
it really is. It's a great example of the third platform, and that's the power. That's what this third platform brings to the table. That's why it's so important. And that's why IDC said this is going to come after every industry. So this isn't like IT inside baseball. Which database vendor is going to be more or less successful, or what's the next version of
the SAP product or something.
Yeah. This is all of a sudden this is now moving into real straightforward business, having huge business impact. And just to show one more slide here in this little section of the discussion, a lot of people, and I apologize, I don't know if we're going to get this slide to come up or not, because it's sort of a build. Maybe if I shift
I see the Hilton slide.
Yeah, let me see if I can just briefly do slideshow to get it to do the build and then come back. It's all a bit oops. No, it doesn't. But basically what this slide is that, some people might go, well, the tax industry, it was ripe for disruption. It was run by a bunch of troglodytes. And let's face it, they're not very fast. But this slide really builds and says it's across every segment. So, if you were Hilton, you used to think my main competition is Marriott or Hyatt. And now with Airbnb, you're competing with every spare bedroom on the planet.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean every person who used to stay in a hotel is going to use Airbnb. There's clearly some use cases that Airbnb can't address. But for other use cases, it's actually more satisfactory. I went to Madrid last summer, and instead of staying in a hotel, which probably would have been okay, got a place through Airbnb. And actually, it was much more satisfactory. It was more like a small apartment. So I could, bring food and, have meals there. I had more flexibility. I could come and go as I want. I didn't, and it was a block from the main Plaza Mayor, which is kind of the main tourist area, the main cultural area, the old town. It was a phenomenal experience.
So there wasn't a real threat to the traditional industry then.
Yeah, for that use case. And so, that's in the hotel industry. Education, you've got traditional universities, you've got Udacity coming forward. Security, you've got Dropcam coming up against ADT. So there's all of these companies are sort of saying, how do I leverage this third platform and provide a use case that goes up against this? And so, there's enormous dislocation facing companies. So this isn't all about, how does the IT operate group work? This is all about what's going to happen in industries.